We do still have these tomato plants, a few of them. Those are Marians there, Aunt Ruby's German green. That thing's about dead, I reckon. Looks like a tomato hornworm's got a hold of it. I sure don't see it though, or I'd kill it. I believe that's a black crim there. Anyhow, we do have all these varieties, including the carbon, Brad's atomic grape, although I'm not seeing it. It may be dead already. It was so little. I've got a few more I can put in there. Another carbon. Let's see. Anyhow, you know, we got a couple mortgage lifters, a couple Abraham Lincolns, a few more black crim. Anyhow, the peas down yonder, those are the peas. Most of the peas have kind of been picked out. It's about time to, you know, cut these and maybe let what's left on them dry out. The tomatoes, these surprisingly are still producing some, but you can tell by all the bottom on these things are about done, looks like. And they've been very productive and excellent producers of tomatoes. These are all these in the cages are the better boys. Now, we did pick some of these jalapenos today. We had a family gathering and we used these for making some jalapeno poppers. Well, technically it ain't jalapeno poppers because it's stuffed jalapenos and wrapped a chicken around that and then wrapped that with bacon. And then a little bit of barbecue sauce. Man, that stuff's good though, I ain't gonna lie to you. And you can see on this row we got pink eye purple hulls. Most of those have been, you know, pulled. Those things, these were some of the first ones planted, and they're gonna be the first ones done, I reckon. Yeah, we got a bunch of weeds. We still getting a bunch of them yellow pear tomatoes, and getting a few others here on this row. I've been working on weeding right here, in case you can't tell. I'm thinking about getting my flame weeder out here. That's just so much fun. It ain't like it's work at all, but you can tell where I've actually been weeding. It's hard to get all the weeds amongst them beans. I think I broadcast those so they just every which way. It's not like they in a row where you can go down one side and clean them up. Most of the corn's been picked. We still got these. You know, these stalks here, some of them just kind of spindly. Next year I won't plant them quite as close together, and I'll see what I can do about, you know, making sure they get more fertilizer so they can grow a little. Well, they're huge, don't get me wrong. Some of them's tall, but some of these, you know, 4 foot tall. That ain't big enough. We would rather have more like that one up there who's got to be 8, 9 foot. Now the okra is running strong, my friend. These over here, most of these are the California grown dwarf, and there's still some that's going to be picked tomorrow, I expect. But these have been doing real well, people. They love this heat. I don't know many things out here that love this heat like they do. But they are sure putting on some, you know, putting on some vegetables for us. And Lord knows I love that fried okra. Now here on the next row, which has a whole bunch, or had a bunch of squash on it. Squash kind of played out this year. We didn't have near as much as we had last year. On this next row where we've had all this squash, this Clemson spineless. In fact, you see, I think we may have had a vine borer. It could be just the heat. But this Clemson spineless is getting some on it. I hadn't seen much of that, but I have a feeling it's because people have been picking it. I pruned up a little bit on, get some of that lower leaves, get it out of there. But they still, you know, they's just starting to come on this heat. They love this heat. That okra is like, man, it's like, well, I think it first came from like Africa or something, so you know it's gonna like the heat. Here we had what I call them UFO squash. They're really scallop squash. They look a little bit like that patty squash or whatever it is. Anyhow, and yes, there's a bunch of weeds down there. Don't look. Cover your eyes, children. Don't look. It'd be bad for you. Now, while these look a little bit on the rough side, I ain't gonna lie to you. These cucumbers here on this side, you know, they're not producing a whole lot, but the surprise of this whole garden, or at least one of them, is these lemon cucumbers. I went through and harvested today, and we had 2 or 3 of the, I don't know if they were the burpless or the straight 8s, but these lemon cucumbers, man, they were coming on strong. I had 7 or 8 of these lemon cucumbers, and they taste pretty good. Here's one of them right here. I probably could have pulled that one, but let it live another day. There's another one I probably could have pulled. Isn't that pretty? But they are people. If you're looking for some cucumbers later in the season, especially when it gets hot, think about them lemon cucumbers. Now these are the rattlesnake beans here, and they looking a little bit on the rough side, people. They've got a few on here, but not much to speak about. They've pretty much played out. And the butter peas we planted down here really ain't never done nothing. Of course, that's probably my fault from all those weeds. Again, don't look. Well, it looks like them Goliath tomatoes that we've had here, they succumbing to the elements. They just so hot around here. I know I keep saying that, but I'm telling you, man, I think it was like 99 today, may have hit 100, and that wasn't including the heat index. And we still got a few. Now, if you look through there, you still see I've got 1 or 2 peppers on there. I'm kind of letting them develop, especially that one right there. That's supposed to be a jalapeno, but man, that thing's huge. You see that? That thing's huge. I'm gonna let it turn red and maybe use that particular one for some seed for next year. And yes, we're still getting them yellow pear. Now look at that. That's one of them daggum leaf leg bugs. I hate them. I hate them with a passion, people. But they're not near as bad this year as last year. See, a lot of them are splitting. And that's just because, you know, we'll go for a little while and then it'll come pouring rain. We ain't had much days without rain, but here lately, that rain ain't been helpful. Ain't been nobody's friend. Hey, we're passing some weeds. Cover your eyes, children. But this one right here, now these are some of the later ones that we planted, and they seem to be doing, well, some of them, that one's looking a little rough. We're gonna have to take care of that. But we still got a second crop of tomatoes coming in. That looks like we got some, well, I don't know, but probably some worm damage or something on that started it. We hadn't been able to pick over here lately, probably because all them weeds. The melons, we've had some that we've pulled, and I've taken some to work. And some of these, you know, they still growing. We still got some coming up. I see one over there though we need to get rid of. Looks like it's done past its prime. I must have missed that. Now we've been trying. These watermelons still growing. I don't know how this heat's gonna affect them. That one I wondered about, didn't know if that was ready, but I checked it earlier. It's getting close, but it ain't there yet. And yeah, it's kind of hard to see some of these. I'm having to walk through some of this just to make sure, just to get a better look at them. I mean, we got us a moon and stars there, and then we got us a Charleston gray over here. For some reason, I don't think any of the Charleston grays have been pulled yet, at least not by me. Anyhow, and we did pull one of the pumpkins earlier. I don't think there's any more left on the vine. That's down there. You can just kind of see a little bit of one of them vines down there. See all them weeds? Cover your eyes, children. We watered the peppers that's supposed to be going in the ground. I was going to try to get them done today. I still may try to. See if I can't get Tammy to help. Anyhow, I don't know, people. It's still hot and humid, and I'm just plumb tuckered out. I declare, I'm spent. I got to go grab me some more of that Gatorade. Cool down a little bit, because even with the sun going down and even with the shade out here, man, it's rough. I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like I'm a Yankee down here or something. Lord knows I love Yankees. My daddy was a Yankee, and my kinfolk up there are still Yankees. I don't mean anything derogatory about it. Just mean that we had some of our kinfolk come down one July the 4th, and man, it was like this. And they just couldn't function. I can function, but it's tough. I ain't gonna lie to you. Y'all stay in, stay hydrated. If you go outside, don't stay outside too long. Go back in and get you some Gatorade.